Good.
All right. So Hannah has been identified as having some struggles with her memory. And with that, she struggles to retain vocabulary. So today we're going to try to learn a new strategy called the LINKS vocabulary strategy. And so I'm going to talk to Hannah about what this means. So Hannah, we're going to start doing a new strategy today using our little note cards. And it's called the LINKS. So I'm going to take you through this strategy and hopefully it'll help you remember your words. Hannah has an upcoming science test coming up and they're learning about climate. So we already have her set of 20 words, and the way this is going to work is we're going to progress monitor her, starting her with 5 words. This week we meet with Hannah 3 times a week. So we're going to work on 5 words this week. Next week we'll move to 10, the week after that 15, and the week after that 20. And hopefully by the test she'll have all 20 words done. So this is a strategy we're going to use. It's called LINKS. And these are the steps. So Hannah, first you're going to list the parts, identify a reminding word, note a linking story, create a linking picture, and then self-test. So let me show you what that means. So we're going to start, you would start with a word. For example, we're going to pretend your word is tirade. And if you didn't know what that meant, you would have to go and look up the definition. Now first you only want to put the really important parts of the definition, like the main points. So our main point is that it means screaming or yelling. Okay? So when I look at this word, a word that I might know already, my reminding word
is tire.
Is tire. You know what a tire is, right?
Yeah.
Nobody has to remind you. So a good word to choose is a word you already know that sounds like your other word. So it sounds like your definition word. It's a word you already know and you don't need anyone to remind you what this word means. Okay? So we're going to use the word you already know to help remind you of the word you don't know. All right, so I'm thinking I need to come up with a story that could help me remember tirade and help me remember that it means screaming or yelling. But it also needs to include tire. So the one I've come up with here is, the tire screamed as it went around the corner.
Oh.
Okay? The tire screamed as it went around the corner. And then I'm going to draw a picture. So now I know that screamed is in there. And hopefully when I think of tirade, I'll think tire, screaming. Oh yeah, it means screaming or yelling. Okay? So we're going to try this out. So Hannah's first word is humidity. Hannah already looked up the definition. It's the amount of water vapor in the air. So Hannah, what's a word that sounds like humidity that you already know?
Humor.
Humor. All right, let's write humor.
Right.
M-O-R. Okay. So now, Hannah, can you think of a story that would relate to the amount of water vapor in the air and also to humor?
The comedian used humor to make the man laugh so much that he spit out water into the air.
Good. So let's just kind of paraphrase our story. Comedian used humor, right? Okay, so the comedian used humor.
How do you spell comedian?
C-O-M.
C-O-M-E-D. E-E-D.
I-A-N.
I-A-N.
Used humor.
Chicken nugget. Used humor.
Okay. And then for the sake of time, is it still going? For the sake of time, we're going to go ahead and just have you draw your picture. Her whole story would have been, the comedian used humor to make the man laugh and spit his water into the air. So now she's going to draw a little picture.
Okay, the comedian man is up here. holding a little microphone, and here the guy is at his table. And then, pew, 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 pew.
Okay. Show him spitting out the water. Okay, so there's her picture
It's really
of the little man spitting out the water when he's listening to the comedian.
bad.
We're going to do one more. Meteorology. We've talked about meteorology. That's another of her words. It is the branch of science focused on weather and forecasting. So what would your word be that you already know, Hannah?
Meter.
Meter. Okay, and Hannah already understands what the word meter means.
It's a measuring element thing.
Measuring tool.
Measuring tool.
Okay, so what would your story be then, Hannah, that helps you relate to the branch of science focusing on weather forecasting?
The weatherman metered the snow with a.
He measured the snow?
He measured the snow with a meter stick.
Good. So the weatherman measures the snow with the meter stick. So we will give, Hannah will be explicitly taught how to use this strategy. And then from here on, hopefully she can do it a little more independently. That would depend on the ability of your student. Obviously, they may need a little more scaffolding.
Meter stick.
So she's writing that. And so while she's writing that, the way that this would work is on our data sheet, we'll have 5 places for the first week. And you can see this, I'll post it. 1 for each word. And then 2 boxes you can put a plus or a minus in, whether she got the vocabulary word and whether she got the definition. And you'll give her time to study to use these. So the first day she probably won't get as many as the second or third day. But we will give her between 5 and 10 minutes to study these cards on her own before we quiz her. And each time when she comes into the room, we'll see how much of it she's retained. And we will use, if she gets the word, we'll put a plus sign. If she doesn't, we'll put a minus sign. And then the second week, that'll have 10 words, and then 15 words, and then the last week it'll have 20 words. And hopefully by the last week, she'll have a plus sign in all 20 boxes. Well, all 40 boxes, 1 for the definition. Yeah, so now go ahead and draw your picture. So hopefully she'll have a plus sign for the definitions and all the words. She'll be able to identify the word and the definition. That's our final goal. However, when she's practicing, what she wants to do out loud is identify her definition, identify her reminder word out loud, then see if she can, identify her word, identify her reminder word out loud, see if she can remember that picture and that story, and hopefully that'll lead her to that definition. You can also go backwards by remembering the story, going all the way back to the word. Or you can start from the beginning with the word and go all the way forward to the picture. So it's really whatever she prefers. All right. So she's drawn her little picture. And he's measuring, it's not bad, he's measuring the snow with his meter stick. And so now I would say, Hannah, I'm going to give you, let's pretend she has all 5, I'm going to give you 5 minutes. And I want you to sit down and go ahead and see if you can start studying your words using your cards.
Meteorology. Branch of science focusing on weather and forecasting. Branch of science focusing on weather and forecasting.
Remember to use your little picture in your story. That'll help you. All right.
Okay.
So this is one strategy that you can use. That is it. Thank you.